Okay, so this video is about getting a pandas data frame from a dictionary, and there's going to be two methods for doing this. And basically, we do import pandas as PD is the usual thing that we're going to start with, and then we're going to actually create a dictionary. So make a dictionary, and our standard dictionary in Python looks something like this. Foo 10 bar 20.1 and baz. Hello there. So that's our standard dictionary here, and it's got three key value pairs in there, foo, bar and baz. And we want to put that into a dictionary, and one way of doing this in Python is just like this. So into a data frame, one way of doing it is data frame equals pd.dataframe and then d. But if we just do it like this, and this is the thing about it is, this is how I normally create a dictionary, and it works normally where foo, bar and baz are the column headers. So column 1 header, column 2 header and column 3 header, and then underneath or what comes down afterwards is the rows that come in this, the rows of data that do come in. Now when there's only one row of data, it does this, which is rather annoying, which is it throws you this value error. And if you go down at the bottom, it says value error. If using all scalar values, you must pass an index. So I'm like, oh God, what does that all mean? So I kind of figured it out through trial and error, but basically you can put a square bracket around it, and that works. So that's fine, and we can now print our data frame. Now, just to show, this is kind of I think the usual way that I've seen in the documents, which is if I take the same dictionary like that, and this is where I've inherited it from, but because normally this is like a list of values. So if that's a list, and that's a list, and that one here is a list. So now the key value pairs are, here's the keys, foo. So our first key is foo, our second key is bar, and our third key is baz. And then these are the column data. But now we've only got, of course, we've only got one item there. So if there was more than one item, that would be fine. But let's just do this. So we can do data frame equal df equals pd dot data frame, and then here we would stick in a d. So this is the normal construction of it, and we can see that if we do that like this, that we get the same data frame in both cases. So here we got foo, bar and baz, and here we got foo, bar and baz. So they both come out in the same way. But just to show, I guess, a tiny bit more maybe, is that what would this method 2 actually look like? Because it's really expecting more data in the columns. So I don't know, 10, 11, 12, and then here it'd be 20.1, I don't know, 20.2 and 20.3, for example. And here they'd be hello there, A and B, and actually put that round so we can see that these are actually the rows of the data. So that's these are all of the data for foo, this is all of the data, the rows of data for bar, and this is all of the rows of data for baz, and the baz ones just happen to be strings, and we'll see that now. So that's what the data frame, that's the normal construction of a data frame. But obviously when there's just one item in there, so it's what's called that scalar item, that error that was thrown in, the way of accepting it is to have a list of a dictionary effectively, and then that's acceptable in Python for or at least in pandas for a data frame construction. So either of these are acceptable, when you've only got one item to go in there. But the thing about this is, and how I came about this was that I want to pass items into lists, sorry, I want to actually append, so I want to append a CSV file, and we can use the CSV module, which is one way of doing it, and you can append a CSV file from a dictionary, but it's actually quite convenient to append a CSV file from a data frame. So we can do df.to_CSV, there we go, over there, and then kind of like just pass in, and then just put in the name of the CSV file, whatever we want to call it, like my data.csv. I think we'd have to do something like index equals none, and also something probably like, I think it's headers equals none. I've got it up somewhere. In fact, I might just pull it out if I can find it. I'll just have a little look for it. Yep, and there we go. I did find it. Header equals false. So that's the way, and it's quite convenient. So rather than like importing module, opening file with a with statement and all of this, the df to CSV is quite convenient, and it takes in this data frame. But the thing about this is, if I wanted to do the CSV method, I'd have to use it'd be much more convenient using this dictionary. And if I was going to create the data frame this way, then that would be fine for doing the append CSV, and that's where I came about it, because I just had to fix the error. So I put the square brackets around each of the values in the key value pairs, and that fixed it. But then it kind of like breaks what a dictionary looks like, because I didn't want the dictionary to look like to have list items as their values. I wanted the dictionary to have the just the values as they were, so like a standard set of values. So, and the problem really arises from the fact that if I wanted to, because I was trying to do this, append a SQLite database, I would do something like df.to underscore SQ. And the thing about it is, well, we can see all of these data frames too, and then again like database.db and so forth, ... So there'll be a whole bunch more of stuff that might go in there. But the point is that the data frame has a whole bunch of very convenient things, and we could kind of like bespokely write to a SQLite database. Fantastic. You can do it without having to use a pandas data frame, and you could write to a CSV file without having to use a pandas data frame. But the fact is that the data frame .to underscore, we can already see it. Like, you can write to a clipboard, you can write to a CSV file. Again, you can write to a dictionary, but it's already a dictionary. You can write to an Excel file. I've not really used a feather. You can write to HTML. You can write to JSON. You can write to Markdown. I've not really used NumPy as well, but that's kind of. But a Parquet file, so a pickle file. So there's a whole bunch of things that are that are useful. I'm just wondering if there's any more XML as well. So there's a whole bunch of common types, and the pandas data frame kind of like handles it all in one. And I do tend to use it a lot. I know it's probably lazy to a reasonable degree, but I do tend to use it a lot. And this format of the dictionary going into to create a pandas data frame would be useful in some cases, but not useful in all cases. Whereas this version of the dictionary that doesn't have the brackets around the values is going to it's just going to be like work all the time. So, and the way to get it into the data frame is to put the square brackets. So turn the dictionary into a list. So it's a list with one item in it, and the one item is a dictionary. So that's kind of like the way to do it if you've only got one value in there. So, and just as a reminder, just for the error message, which was there, I could actually create this error message like that, and I can do a try, put it into a try accepts block. There we go, try, and we will try X. Let's just try that exception, and then we'll print out our exception. The exception is this value error, and we can even print out, I think it's print e dot args is what it is. I think the error actually will be the same anyway, so I don't need to print e dot args, but I might leave it there for a second, and then we'll do it the other way, which is df dot df equals pd dot data frame, and this time the D is in the square bracket. So here we see exception found. Yeah, we didn't need to. I didn't need to do the e.args because it's already there, like the error message. So this is it basically. If we don't put the square brackets around it, so we don't turn our dictionary into a list of dictionaries, so a list with one dictionary in there, then we get this: if using all scalar values, you must pass an index. So, and I tried like passing an index equals 0, like for example, index equals 0. Well, I actually tried index equals none. I wonder if index equals 0. I wonder if that would work, for example, not throwing the error message. Nope, because it says a collection of some kind. Okay, maybe index equals hello. There we go. Let's try that one. Finally, it does actually work. I don't know whether hello actually manifested itself. Index equals XXX. Let's see if XXX pops up anywhere. No, don't quite get maybe a blank index. So that one seemed to work. So you could, so that seemed to be another option. I wonder if just index like that. There you go. Which is quite interesting because the one thing that I tried was an index equals none, like this, and that threw an error message, so I couldn't get away with a none. So just delete that and that. So that would have been an alternative as well. So just different ways. It's just an interesting one. You get that error message thrown. Just let's recreate that error message there. So a couple of different ways of doing it, I guess. One is to pass it into the square brackets, but the other way is you must pass an index if using all scalar values. So I could have done that, this version here, or I could have done df equals pd dot data frame d, and then index equals blank, nothing in the indexing there. I'm not sure why it actually does that, to be fair. Like, why can't it interpret it? Maybe it doesn't know what the index is because it's like one row, one column, whereas here it's obvious that this is going to be that everything in the square brackets are the rows of the data. So it could just be something like that. So yeah, that's really it. Oops. So look, let me just comment this one out. Right, that one didn't work that time, interestingly enough. So So see, that wasn't working because the reason why it wasn't working is because this was actually being overwritten. So I will go down there and comment this one out. This didn't actually work, it just didn't throw an error, and it actually sent something in that was blank. So setting index equals square brackets like that wasn't sufficient. And I presume as well, because if I actually commented this one out, forward slash, it would have been blank, so that wouldn't have worked either, and I don't think this would have worked. Actually, it did work, so that one does work without the overwriting. So I can go back and I can put in the two quotations, and that does work. So if we don't have the index that way, we could have it this way, like that, and this version here works. So you've got a choice of this or this in the square brackets, whichever version the user feels that they want to do. Like so either one of these works, but what doesn't work is this, just like that. So that's a dictionary going into a data frame where the values are scalars. And that's it.